I am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Hey, welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. I am so happy to see you coming in on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on YouTube and on Instagram. Let me just go over to Instagram, make sure I see the people. Thank you so much for coming in to hang out with us on a Saturday morning. If you are just popping in, you don't know what Inspire is all about, you don't know who I am, I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. I'm the author, producer, minister, and entrepreneur, and I believe in the power of words, wisdom, and witness, and that's exactly what Inspire is all about. Each Saturday, we hold space for honest, soulful, and often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life. If you've been with me for over the years, you know we talk to everybody. Okay? Entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, organizers, creators, everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. We explore topics that matter from mental health and identity to faith, business, and justice, creativity, and healing. So whether we're spotlighting community leaders or celebrating personal triumphs like the guest I have today, I can't wait to speak to her. Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. I want to invite you as you're coming in to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Inspire with CW. You can also head over to our website at getinspired.live. There you can watch all of our previous episodes. You can find out about the show, and you can subscribe to our newsletter because we want to stay connected to you. We don't want you to miss a moment of what's coming up. And I'm so excited today. Now, if you're coming in and you're so inclined, I want to know what you're sipping on. You know, I ask every Saturday, what do you have in your cup? What do you have in your cup? Now, your girl was running late this morning, so I don't have coffee in my cup like I usually do. I have some orange juice in my cup. So let me know what you have in the cup. Is it water? Is it tea? Is it coffee that I'm missing right now? Is it a smoothie? Is it orange juice like I'm drinking? Apple juice? Something stronger? I'm not judging you. Let me know where you're watching from and what is in your cup. So as we step into this month, right? It's May. Can you believe it's May already? So as we step into this month, we're also stepping into Lupus Awareness Month. And so all month long, lupus warriors and their loved ones wear purple. That's some purple in my jacket, right? To tell their stories and push a better understanding of a disease that is often invisible, but absolutely life altering. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks healthy tissues and organs, causing inflammation, causing pain, fatigue, and a host of unpredictable symptoms. It can affect anyone, but it does not impact all of us equally. Now, you know, I do statistics on here to Inspire. So around 90% of people living with lupus are women, most diagnosed between the ages of 15 and 44, and Black women are about 3 times more likely to develop lupus than white women. And studies show suggest that many as 1 in 250 young Black women will develop the disease. Lupus is also a top 10 cause of death for Black and Hispanic women in that 15 to 44 age group. And Black women with lupus often die up to 13 years younger than white women with lupus. Now we know that there's part of the reason for that is that there's this huge disparity in healthcare when it comes to how we take care of white women and how we take care of Black women, right? There's this huge disparity. And there are other reasons too, so like poverty. Some of us, depending if you're in an underserved or unserved community, you might forego going to the doctor to take care of yourself because you can't afford the health insurance, right? Um, you don't have the means. And knowing what I know, especially about myself as a Black woman, we tend to handle pain and stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, we push through it, right? We push through it. But absolutely, absolutely, uh, you know, for young women to die, for young Black women actually, to die up to 13 years younger than white women, that is that's atrocious. And it's unforgivable. So when we wear purple and talk about lupus, we are also talking about Black women's health. We're talking about survival, and we are talking about justice. And so today's conversation is about what it looks like to live beyond that. Can't wait to meet my guest. Our guest, Katrina Clear, is a powerhouse entrepreneur, author, and lupus warrior who made a decision. Lupus would be part of her story, but it would not be the headline of her life. As a force behind Pearl Luxe Digital, she helps everyday people turn their knowledge into income, build multiple streams of revenue, and create a lifestyle that honors both their purpose and their health. She is also the author of Living Beyond Lupus, a book organized around powerful themes, listening to the body's whisper, redefining strength, finding peace in the storm, finding purpose in the pain, and learning how to live fully without erasing the reality of chronic illness. She doesn't just talk mindset, she lived through every word of this book, through fatigue and hair loss and fear and the slow work of surrender and acceptance. And what inspires me most about Katrina is that she presents a different definition of strength, one that includes rest, honesty, and boundaries. We talk about that and asking for help. We talk about that a lot on Aspire. She shows that you can still build, still dream, still serve, and still create impact while honoring the body that you are in. So whether you are a lupus warrior, you love someone living with chronic illness, or you've simply been in a season where life has forced you to slow down and rethink everything, this conversation is for you. So stay with us. When we come back, we'll be joined by the author of Living Beyond Lupus and the founder of Pearl Luxe Digital, Katrina Clear.
What is lupus and why should we care? Chronic autoimmune disease affects millions, but not everyone is affected equally. For Black women, lupus strikes earlier, progresses more aggressively, and can be far deadlier. And yet most people know very little about it. Let's start with the basics. Lupus, often called systemic lupus erythematosus, or SLE, causes the immune system to attack healthy tissues. It can damage the skin, joints, kidneys, heart, lungs, you name it. But lupus doesn't just attack the body, it attacks lives, interfering with work, motherhood, relationships, and self-image.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for inviting me. And first, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here this morning.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share my journey. Not just what I went through, but what I'm still going through and living through.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
And I just want to give a piece of my journey and introduce myself. I'm Katrina Clear. I live in Miami, Florida. I'm a mother, I'm a lupus warrior, and I'm a business owner. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2015. Didn't even understand what it was. I wasn't having any pain or anything. My biggest thing was my hair was coming out. I always wore the shortcuts, and I'm thinking that maybe the glue that they're putting in my hair was taking my hair out, not knowing that it was something that was attacking my whole body. I went to the dermatologist and I had my hair up in a ponytail. I'll never forget that day. I used to wear my hair back in a ponytail some days. He asked me to take the ponytail holder off. I took it off. He went through my head. I had this big bright spot in the top of my head. And I had like a dark, like you have a bruise in the back of your head. That's what I had. He opened my head, he said, "You have lupus." So now I'm trying to figure out what is he talking about, not knowing anything about lupus. I've heard people say they have lupus, but never knew what it was. So now I'm startled. I'm afraid, don't know what to think. So he explained to me that he's going to send me to a specialist. So he sent me to the specialist the next day. I went to the specialist. Now, mind you, I've been working at that time 35 years in the post office,
Mhm.
working every day, throwing parcels, have no problems. Then I get here at the doctor's office and he tell me I have lupus. And when I tell you that was a heartbreak for me because I've always been the person that for the family,
Yeah.
always that strong person, always had everybody back, always never slowed down, sometimes working 13, 14 hours a day. And I gets to the doctor and he say, you have SLE. So I'm still don't have a clue what it is. Never could pronounce the word. And then I'm looking and I'm like, okay, what is this man talking about? He told me that I would have never found out if I would have never came about my hair. He
Mm.
said, because it's a silence killer.
Yeah.
And I mean, he put me off work for 2 years at that moment
Wow.
because right then it was affecting my body.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was, I mean, it was when he done ran the tests, and kidney failure runs in my family. So it has started affecting my kidneys and my bloodstream. Now I had like a rash, like right between my forehead. I had a rash, but it
Mhm.
wasn't nothing like most people that have lupus where the rashes get real red or whatever. So I'm saying, okay, I'm looking up in the sky and I'm saying, God, please help me because I have no clue. And then only have one daughter. And I'm saying, she was grown, but I'm saying, who would be here for her knowing that I would leave here any day? I struggled and I mean, I was home. I was like in deep, I was home. I didn't feel like I was in depression, but I was
Mhm.
because I thought I was just that strong that I wasn't in depression. But I had got to the point where no matter what I did, I mean, I stayed in the bed after I was diagnosed. I stayed in the bed for like weeks at a time, would not get up because I didn't know what was going on. And he gave me medication. At that time, he gave me 34 prescriptions to fill.
Wow.
And I'm like, 34 prescriptions. So now I'm thinking back, my mom passed with on dialysis. I have two sisters with kidney failure. I have an aunt
Mhm.
with kidney failure. So now I'm thinking, okay, you giving me all these medications now. Before I take, because I was never a person that took medication. So I gets my phone and I started looking up every medication he gave me. Anything that said kidney failure, it was out the door. I was not going to take it. I'm,
Mhm.
I'm like, I can't take nothing that's going to take my kidneys, to that point where I can't even donate nothing to my sister them already because they both already on kidney failure.
Wow.
And I'm saying, okay, what can I do now? So I got down to like 2 pills. And that was like it was one was for pain with tramadol, and the other one was prednisone. I
Mhm.
went from a size 7 in 3 months to a size 12,
Wow.
taking prednisone. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, my body's aching, I'm getting bigger, and then now I can't even wear any of the clothes, but I'm taking prednisone. So I'm looking at prednisone like, okay, what is this? And then I was speaking to one of my classmates. Her sister had died like the year before, but I didn't know she died from lupus.
Mhm.
And she said, "Yeah, my sister died from lupus," and that right there just hit me real hard when she said that. I say, if I leave my child right now, what could anybody help my child with? She had her own house at the time,
Mhm.
and my job sending me letters to return to work. And I'm saying the doctor already put me out for 2 years. You know, it is not that I didn't have leave to take me to 2 years. I had leave to take me to 5 years. But you bothered me and I never called in to work. So that really, I think that frustrated me more.
Yeah.
And I said, I talked to my daughter and I told her, I say, Tamika, I say, I don't know what it's gonna take, where this diagnosis gonna take me at. And she said, Ma, we gonna trust God. She said, you're gonna take the treatment. And what I've learned, doctor, a pastor, I learned that the treatment that we have in the US is nothing for us. All the treatment we have is out of the US. And the US would not approve. It's not FAFDC, DA. It's not neither
Mhm.
one of them. We can't even get it approved in the US.
Wow.
So my doctor telling me, because he's the founder of lupus, so he's telling me I can put you in a study that would help you if you take the study. He said a lot of people don't want to take the study because the medicine is not FDA. So I'm saying to myself, if it's something going to help me, I'm going to have to do what I have to do
Right.
because it wasn't costing me any money for the medication.
Mhm.
Everything was under the study. And you sign the study. And when I tell you the medication that I was originally taking for lupus for the US was not helping me at all. Only thing it was doing was deteriorating my bloodstream. I was steady getting medication in my body that did not help me. It more hurt me than anything.
Mhm.
So less than 6 months, he put me in this program it's a study they had that was, I think it's out of Australia. He put me in that program. And when I tell you I went from pain to slight pain to practically every other day pain. I think I stayed in that study because the study is for like 2 years. I stayed in that study and then they'll try to take you to another study to see, build you up. And I think I stayed in the study up till last year. And I think they're looking for another study for me now.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But the studies that I've been in, when I tell you it was a blessing, because I can still do my daily routines. I can do, when you don't take the medication, you're in pain. You can't, sometimes you can't even sit up. Your back hurt for no reason.
Yeah.
You don't even know why your back hurting. You don't know why you got the joint pains. And mind you, I was an athlete, went to college on scholarships, had no problem. But this took me to another level in my life because I was
Mm.
like, I can't do what I used to do. I was always in a bowling league. I was in softball, still playing softball. And I'm like, I can't even do any of this no more. And then I stopped wanting to, going out. I stopped wanting to go out because I'm thinking, people looking at me. I was a 7, 8, 9, 10, and now I'm at a 12, sometimes 14. So I'm looking like to me a fat pig.
Mm.
But my daughter said, "Ma, you don't look. You just feel that way because you're used to your size." But when I tell you, I was so overwhelmed with the pain that I used to get every morning waking up. Can't put your feet on the floor because they are so tender. I mean, my feet were so tender to I couldn't even put on like a little like a flip flap shoe that my feet hurt so bad.
I whew, Thank you for sharing all of that. And I think I'm sitting here. Well, first of all, like I discovered that there's so many different kinds of lupus, right?
Yes, yes,
And I have two loved ones. My spiritual sister Patricia um, and my blood sister Joy, who have lupus. And your story and my research have just given me a new appreciation of how what it looks like to get up every day and to keep pushing, right? What it looks like to not let lupus, not let this chronic illness completely consume your life. And I know that, sometimes, especially with something that's chronic, with something that's like constant, right? That's impacting us, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, it can lead to depression, right? It can lead to us being despondent and wanting to give up. And I want to celebrate you, Katrina, for not giving up. I want to celebrate everyone, every woman, especially every Black woman, because we know that so many Black women are dying from this disease.
yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
that you are still going, right? That you're not letting this overtake you. And one of the things that you did, and this is why I love even more the title of your book, especially now that you've shared all of that. And so, Living Beyond Lupus. This is the title of Katrina's book, and you can find that at pearlluxedigital.com. And I'm going to implore those of you who are watching, and those of you who are listening, and those of you who catch this in the replay, to go and get that book. If you are living with lupus or any chronic illness, or you know someone who's living with lupus or chronic illness, I encourage you to go ahead and get a copy of that book. Yes, Minister Dave, good morning. Hey, Chuck Jones, good morning. I see you, Minister Diane. Thank you for joining us. And my love, Daquita, thank you. Yes, a warrior. Yes, absolutely. They're saying that you are a warrior,
Thank you
Katrina,
so much.
and
Thank
we're
you so
so
much.
grateful that you are hanging out with us today on Inspire. If any of you watching, if you have a question or a comment for Katrina, please post it so that we can make sure that she has the opportunity to respond to that before we end our time together today. So let's talk a little bit about your book. Let's talk about your book. First, what inspired you? What was in you that said, I need to share my story in this book and I need to encourage others?
Well, what inspired me was when I go to the doctor and I see a lot. I mean, the youngest person I saw with lupus was 9 years old, and her mother was so overwhelmed because she didn't have a clue of what it was, what her daughter was going through. And then I'm saying somebody need to tell this story, and I'm saying why not it be me? When I tell you, I sit around, I sit and I sit and I used to write notes every time I go to the doctor. I come home because when I come home, I'm sitting, and then we have like a questionnaire when you go to the doctor. They give you this little computer that you fill out. You got a questionnaire, and the question that used to aggravate me the most is, "Have you ever thought about killing yourself?" And I used to always say, "I love myself too much to kill myself. I would never let anything of nothing get me to that point where I want to kill myself." Because as long as it's doctors out there and they bring the medication, I don't care if it's US approved yet, but it's gonna help me, I'm gonna take it.
Mm.
And I say, well, you know what? I say, I need to tell this story because there's somebody out here that needs to hear it. A lot of people get lupus, they don't even have a clue. They don't, and a lot of people that get lupus, they don't even go to even search, do a search on it to see what, how did they get it, why and then with me, when I got it, I was like, I'm thinking it was because most people I saw, it was always on their skin. It was never, you know, diagnosed like mine's. And I'm saying, okay, theirs on the skin. Then I'm saying, okay, my hair coming out. So then I say, okay, I was kind of afraid to wear wigs. So I'm like, I gotta go get a little something made like my shortcuts I used to wear. So then my cousin, she do hair. So she said, "What I do, Trina?" She say, "I know you don't really want to wear the different styles." So she said, "Well, I can do you like the way I have my hair now." She said, "I could twist your hair up, and you can pull it up in a ponytail because I know you're not gonna wear it down." She said, "I could do it like that, and by my hair being very soft, because I don't know if you know, like lupus is similar to cancer. When your hair come out and come back, it's real soft.
Mhm.
And my hair was already soft anyway, but it's even softer now because you can put a plait in my hair and you could practically pull it back out because my hair is that thin." And I was saying, if I tell my story, I can reach a lot of people.
Mhm.
And somebody need to hear this story where they can feel they don't have to give up. Because me speaking from experience, I don't want not one woman, not one person in this world to give up on lupus. It's not a cure, but there's help for you. There is help. So I would love for you to just reach out. If you need to talk, I'm here because I had nights that I had no one to talk to.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
tell people, I don't care what time of night it is, call me if you need help because I'm going to be that bridge that you would not give up.
Thank you, and thank you for that invitation to those who are watching. We will certainly share your information with our audience so that if someone needs you, they can reach you. Thank you for sharing that, Katrina. So, in your book, you write about listening to the body's listening to the body's whisper before it becomes impossible to ignore. And you already shared about your diagnosis, but what do you think were the whispers your body was giving you before your diagnosis? And
So
looking
me,
back, what do you wish you understood sooner?
me working at the post office at the time, I didn't, the doctor tell me it was whispers there, but by me working and by me standing every day, not knowing that I used to always say I was tired and I would work sometimes 12, 14 hours. So I'm thinking it's just that I'm tired. But when I finally got diagnosed, it wasn't that I was tired because I got the rest. It was that my body was trying to slow me down and let me know that I had a problem that I was not taking care of. Because I went to the doctors for I went to the doctors for your everyday yearly checkups. I went for breast exam. I went for all that. But when I was diagnosed with lupus and I started hearing all the different things, and I'm saying, okay, when I was tired and thinking I'm pushing just because I got to get the work done,
Yeah.
it was the whispers that the lupus was telling me to slow down. When I tell you now that after I retired in 2017, I start really feeling the whispers because it got to the point where what I think I could do, I couldn't do anymore. Like I could usually walk like what is a football field 12, 13, 14 times. Now I may be able to walk 4 or 5 times at the most. And my body lets me know when I'm tired.
Mm.
And you have to hear the whispers because the whispers, they gets louder. It gets very loud after a while. You may not hear it, but you'll feel it in the long run. And what I felt was that my body was telling me, you can't do what you used to do. And I was always that person for everybody.
Mhm.
I mean, I would go to work 3 o'clock in the morning, get off, instead of getting off 12 o'clock, I'm getting off 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Go to bed 12:30 at night, get right back up to go to work at 3 o'clock. And I wasn't getting the proper rest, but I didn't see it like that because not knowing I had lupus, I'm thinking I'm just tired for working all the hours. I would come home, sit in the chair with my uniform on, go to fall asleep in the chair because I'm so tired. But
Mhm.
thinking it's tired from working and not tired from, the immune system that I got, and not because I didn't know I had it. So I'm thinking I'm just tired. But once I got involved with the doctor, I realized that was the whispers that I was ignoring, and they was right in front of me.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that. And this made me think about how often we also ignore, right? So many
Yes,
of us ignore look, your body is literally telling you something,
absolutely.
right? And your body will speak to you when you're doing too much, when you're headed to burnout, when there's this ease in your body will say
It
there
will
is
shut
something
down.
wrong.
It will
And
shut
we
down.
have and we have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our bodies. So thank you for sharing that. And I hope all of you who are watching and listening will listen to your body. I'm speaking to myself too, right? Because I said earlier, we push through things. We push through pain.
Absolutely.
It's a little pain. We'll push through it. The pain goes away. It doesn't mean the thing that's causing the pain has gotten better, right? But we just push through and then we don't feel it anymore, and then it's too late to fix it, right? So we got to do better, especially as Black women. We have to do better because we tend to carry so much. It's just embedded. We talk about that a lot on Inspire, about how much Black women carry, right? Um, how we have been conditioned to carry uh, the weight of the world on our shoulders. We've
Yeah,
been
absolutely.
conditioned to take care of everyone else and ignore ourselves. And so we have to do a much better job at taking care of ourselves.
And what I
Thank you so
want
much
the
for sharing
audience
that,
to
Katrina.
know, what I want the audience to know is that every woman need to pay attention to your body, especially your legs.
Mm,
And if you get any rat, because a lot of people, yeah, I think we was growing up, we used to call it a ringworm. We would think it's a ringworm. It comes like a ringworm, but it's not a ringworm. Usually it's lupus. And if you get something on your, it turn, and then the sun is real bad for us. The sun,
mm,
we cannot stay in the sun. And I used to play softball, not knowing that now, I go out like to watch a game or what. I don't sit in the sun. I used to actually sit in the sun and watch a game while everybody else sitting under a tree. But now I can't. The sun, it's like the sun have you in so much pain because the rash, it starts to itch and you scratching. It feel like you scratching, and if you scratch so much, you scratch until the skin where it damages the inside, and it burnt like most of the time when you're in the sun, it burns from the inside out. And we need to pay attention to that as women because everything we think is just a rash is not always a rash. So if you being fatigued, um, you having rashes come on your body, go to the dermatologist to find out because it could. Because I'm thinking it's just the way my hair was coming out, not thinking it was no disease. Not I didn't know. I'm thinking when he said lupus, I'm like, what lupus? What is that? And just because my hair was coming out,
mm.
and like my doctor told me, the specialist told me, he say, if you would have never came to the dermatologist working the way you was working 12, 14 hours, he say the silence killer would have you'd have dropped dead on the workroom floor.
Wow. Chuck says, I ignored the whispers, sought help, and found out there was a problem with a poor seal in my CPAP masking process. Glory to God. I love my Black women. Thank you so much, Chuck, for
Thank you.
sharing that. Katrina, one of the things that really struck me about your book is the way you talk about grief, right?
Yes.
Not just grief over pain, but grief over the version of yourself that you thought you had to be, the version of yourself, your old identity, right? Before lupus. So what would you say what did lupus force you to mourn? And what new version of yourself emerged in its place?
It it made me think more out the box. It made me know that I can be the best version of myself if I reach out and help someone else. And the grief that I always got was knowing I had problems and ignoring it at the same time,
Mhm.
especially after I was diagnosed. I kept saying, oh, it's just a pain, it's okay. And I had to learn that it wasn't what I was thinking at the moment. I had to realize that bringing myself back to who I used to be was not the same. What I was thinking I was used to be is not me anymore. I had to realize that what I used to do and who I used to be I'm not that same person. I have to continue where I am now. I have to let myself know where you are now is who you are now. Not what you used to be and not who you used to be, but who you are today. And I had to realize that the reflections of myself now is the reflections that God wants me to move forward on and not look back where I used to be.
Yeah. Some of us, you know, so much of what you're saying is resonating for me because, you know, we also tend to mourn previous versions of ourselves. We tend to mourn the younger version of ourselves. We tend to mourn the hourglass figure versions of ourselves, right? We mourn that, but you know, accepting where we are right now, right? If we learn to accept where we are right now, we'll find beauty in that, right? We'll find
We
some
have
beauty in
we
that,
have to do that.
find strength in that. We have to, you know, we have to learn how to accept the version that we are right now and understand that who we are right now is not going to be who we are 2 years from now, 3 years from now, right? We're always changing. We're constantly shifting. And with every shift should come some type of growth, right? And holding on to the lessons of, you know, of what we've learned over, you know, over the years. So thank you for that. Because we need to stop holding on to past versions of ourselves. We're going to take a break for you because I didn't ask what you were sipping on, Katrina. Well, so when you
Water.
you got some water.
Yes.
We're gonna take a quick break, and I would love, Katrina, if when we come back from that break, if you would read an excerpt of the book.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So stay with us. We are going to get back to some more conversation with the amazing Katrina Clear. She is the author of Living with Lupus. When we come back, we will hear an excerpt of her book. Hey everyone, thank you again for joining us today. I want to invite you to connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We are at Inspired with Sue W on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. Please do us a great big favor and give us a follow if you are not following us already. Also, you can head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. You can find out all about the show, watch all of our previous episodes, and subscribe to our newsletter because we don't want you to miss anything that's happening with Inspire. Are you or someone you know on a mission to create change while inspiring others to do the same? Well, we want to hear from you. I want to sit across from you in this virtual space on a future episode of Inspire. Visit us at www.getinspired.live to book your appearance today. You can head over to our website, click on Be Our Guest, fill out that guest intake, and a member of our team will get back in touch with you. I can't wait to welcome you to a future episode of Inspire. Camera Solutions, helping you navigate the digital space with confidence. If you know me long enough, you know this is my baby. This is the one that started it all. Kara did turn 6 this year. We're so grateful for your support, and so many of you have told others about us, and we've been able to partner with so many wonderful organizations, individuals, and ministries just by word of mouth. So thank you again. Kara Solutions is a full-service digital agency specializing in helping our clients achieve their goals through consultation and training, content and social media management, graphic and web design, and live stream and podcast production. If you want to learn more, we invite you to schedule a consultation today by visiting our website at www.kara-solutions.com or email us at info@kara-solutions.com. So as always, you know that we are going to do this each and every Saturday. Our sibling and community needs a kidney donor, and I believe that we can do it. Yanni is in search of potential donors who are fairly healthy, have the blood types A or O, the courage to commit to surgery and save her life, and she would love to share the safety measures with you. Alternatively, if you know of a resource, if you know of an organization, somewhere that Yanni could get connected to help make this happen for her, please send that information to us and we'll be sure to get it to her. The contact Yanni and her family directly, you can do so at peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. That's peacepeopleinc@gmail.com. And you can head over to EmeryLivingDonor.org, fill out the survey, and enter her name, Ayana Davis. I believe that we can do this together. All right, it's time to get back to some wonderful conversation with today's guest. Welcome back, Katrina. Thank you again for joining us today on Inspire. It's been such a so wonderful just listening to your story, and just seeing the strength and hear the strength that's coming from you. I know that it will help so many people who are going to be watching, viewing, listening later. So thank you for sharing your story with us. So I would love again for you to read an excerpt of the book. I'm going to put you full screen, so don't be alarmed if you're alone. If you're alone on the screen, I am still here. I'm still here, but I just want to put you full screen so that the people can see you and hear you. So thank you for reading this excerpt.
Thank you. Hello, Living Beyond Lupus is chapter 7 in my book. Living with lupus is one thing, but living beyond lupus is something entirely. Lupus could shape my life, but it did not get to define it. Beyond lupus, I found joy in a small moment, gratitude in a quiet morning, peace in stillness, love in unexpected places, strength in softness, purpose in my story. Living beyond lupus means accepting the illness, accepting your limits, and still believing your life is worth living. You are allowed to dream. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to rest. You are allowed to live fully, beautifully, intentionally, even with lupus. So never let lupus define who you are. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that excerpt. We so appreciate that. I want to ask you something um, that I'm not sure if you get this question often, but what do you think healthy people, right, misunderstand um, about those who are living with lupus? Like, have you ever experienced someone maybe not believing that you're in
Yes.
pain because they don't? Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, a lot of people look at you because you're not, like with lupus, it's not shown, when you're in pain. You still, most people with lupus still have a smile on their face. Even though they're in pain, they still have the joy to help others, still pushing to help other people, knowing that their body is telling them to slow down. And I've had family members to say, "Oh, you don't look like you have lupus. Tell me how lupus look." That's what I asked them. Tell me how lupus look. Because lupus is different in everybody. But when they found out, when I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, didn't know, I was at the mall, at the mall shopping, and I got this sharp pain across my chest. And I'm like, what is going on here? Me and my godmom, I kept telling her I could not lift my right arm. So she say, we need to go across the street to the hospital then. We go over there. When she tell them I'm having chest pains, they don't even stop me in the emergency room. They take me straight. And come to find out, I was like, what is going on? The doctor, then now the doctor comes over, my lupus doctor comes because they called him. And I'm saying, what? I'm having chest pains and don't know why. But I'm still in the mall shopping, but I'm having pains because we pushed through and not knowing. I could have been having a heart attack, but I'm still trying to shop in the mall. But then it got to the point where I went to lift my bag up and could not lift it. And the bag wasn't even that heavy. And I'm saying, okay, we with lupus look like nothing is wrong with us. Because every day I can be out shopping, I can be out, I dress up. You'll never know I'm in pain because I would never tell you I'm in pain. The pain, but what I have learned with lupus, that you have to take care of yourself. You have to. You can't ignore the pains because sometimes the pains take you to extreme pain where you can't even move.
Mhm.
It stiffens your whole body. So when I learned that being a lupus, when people look at you and say, "Oh, lupus is just," people think it's just, "Oh, you just have lupus." They think it's arthritis. Same
Mm.
thing I thought until I really got the full meaning of it and start, looking into everything. And I'm thinking, okay, it's just arthritis. Maybe I'm just getting older, 69, I'm just getting older. That wasn't it. My body was telling me to slow down.
Yeah.
And people look at us as if, oh, she okay. It's nothing wrong with her. But lupus will take you out of here just as fast as cancer will.
And I did not know that. I did not know that before I started this research. It really surprised me.
Yeah, because I'm
Um,
thinking, I'm like, okay, what am I missing with lupus? What am I missing that I don't understand?
mhm.
And that's when the doctor had to break it down to me. He say, your system, your whole system was shut down on you at no time. And he say, if you would have continued working on that job and not checked out your hair, you go to work 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you in there by yourself. Your coworkers or your boss could have found you dead in the building. He said, because your hair came out, God guided you to that dermatologist.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
I tell people, I thank God every day that I wasn't used to having spots in my head. I wasn't used to my hair coming out. And when I saw that, I was like, something ain't right here. And I'm thinking it's we wearing the shortcuts where short. I'm thinking
Mhm.
maybe they put the glue on my hair and then maybe it damaged my head. No, it was lupus.
Wow, wow. So you are a woman of faith, right?
Yes,
And you wrote in the book, you write about finding peace, right? You write about finding peace in the storm,
mhm,
which you also stated during the excerpt, and also learning not to fight your reality every day.
yes.
So, what are the actual practices, spiritual, emotional, practical, that help you come back to peace when fear, fatigue, or frustration shows up?
But when I get up in the morning, I thank God that I'm able to put my feet on the floor because 2015 I was not able to put my feet on the floor.
Mm.
2017 I was doing good because I had went to the treatments. I retired 2017. And when I tell you I had a whole outlook on life differently, I start taking care of me and not worrying about everybody else. And like when I tell you, God used to speak to me every morning. You are strong. You are a warrior. You got this. And I every morning I get up to this day, I still say thank you, God, for letting me and telling me what I got and what I have. Because I know without God and all the prayers that my family and my church members was giving me, that was inspiration to me as a whole. Because I know without God, I was nowhere. I couldn't do anything. And like I say, I thank God for even allowing me to realize something was wrong in my head. Because if it was, I tell everybody, it was only God that made me pay attention.
Mhm.
Because I never would, even if I had saw something in my head, I probably would have just brushed it off, put it up in the ponytail and kept going. But it's the whispers in my ear saying, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. And I went and I thank God every day that I went because I could have went to work the next week and they would have found me on the floor.
Mm. Mhm. Thank you for sharing that. So, for the person who is watching right now, for the person who is listening, um, maybe for someone who is even newly diagnosed or who has been silently struggling, right, with an invisible illness, what do you want them to know about coming home to themselves again, especially when their life no longer looks like what they planned?
But I would tell any lupus person that just getting diagnosed with it, pay attention to your body. You have medication that you take. I don't know. With me, I was a person that always researched every medication that was given to me, because some medications that they give you do more harm than anything. So a lot of people tell you, oh, take herbs, take this, take that. One thing about lupus, you cannot put a lot of different herbs with the medication that you are taking, because it interferes with the medication that's helping you. Because a lot of people used to tell me, oh, go to the food stores. But that I tried that I think the second year I was diagnosed, I was more sick than anything. Like they say, the vitamins, you can't take all the vitamins. You cannot, because it mixes up with your medication. And a person that's newly diagnosed, pay attention. Make sure you make all your appointments. Make sure you be there and ask all the questions. No question is a dumb question. We always think, oh, they'll think I'm stupid, I'm dumb, or whatever. No, ask the questions. Because if you don't ask the questions, you're going to be the one looking stupid, not them. Because you don't know that what you don't know can hurt you.
Yeah.
And we always, when you ask a question, and if you don't understand what the doctor explained it to you, ask him to break it down in your terms where you can understand it. Because like the SLE, that E word, I could never pronounce it. But I tell you, I knew exactly what it was because I researched it. And we need to learn to research everything about lupus, because lupus have a lot of different angles that goes at you. I mean, you can have the one that actually, you got the one in the bloodstream, you got the one on the, you have the one on the skin. And the one on the skin, I think it takes your whole facial features differently. And you be looking at, because like when I first got it, I didn't know which was which until I actually got into it. And we need to understand that lupus will have you to a point where you don't know yourself. And you got to know yourself. If you have to bend down, reach out, it's a lot of lupus empowerment centers out there for help. Like I say, I just start building my community, but I'm 24/7. You could call me in the middle of the night. I'm going to be there to help you, because I don't want nobody to feel they don't have help. Because in lupus, you get to that point where you don't want to talk. You don't want to talk to nobody, especially somebody who don't have lupus, because they don't understand the struggles. And the struggles are real. They are real. The hurt, the pain, all that is real. Like I tell people, the pain that I had, Pastor, I would rather have a baby than to have them pains. Them pains were so bad when I say I couldn't even lift my head off the bed, because I was in so much pain and my feet was throbbing so much. And the only thing helped me, my daughter bought this, it's a machine that you put from your knee to your feet down in. It keeps your feet warm, because with lupus, your feet stay cold a lot. And when it's cold, it hurts. So you need something to keep your feet warm at all times. Yeah. So anybody out there, if you need help, I'm here. Pastor would give you my number. She would give you my email. Anything, reach out, because I'm here to help anybody, because I don't want to be where I was, where nobody helped me. I want to be here to help someone. That's why I wrote the book, to help other women with lupus and don't know where to start or where to end it.
Yeah, yeah. And we're so grateful for this book. And Sue is fine. We're so grateful that you wrote this book. As we, because this hour went by quickly. As we get ready to close out, what is one specific thing that you want viewers to do this month, whether that supporting a warrior, listening to their own body, or choosing to live beyond something that tried to define them?
Well, closing, I would want every person out here especially women. If you having pain and you think it's arthritis, please go and get checked.
Mm.
Don't assume it's arthritis because everybody don't have arthritis because that's what I thought it was. Please go and get checked. And always, if you know anybody with lupus, be their support system. Help them, take them to an empowerment center, get them connected to someone that could actually help them, and find a lupus doctor for them. If they don't know where to find one at, find one. Make sure you get a specialist, not just somebody say they a doctor for lupus. Find somebody who have the specialties in lupus. Because if you live in Miami, the doctor, Dr. Galis in Aventura, Florida, he's the founder of lupus, and that's who my doctor is. And when I tell you, he tell you ins and outs of it. He give you the complete thing of it. And that what made me write this book, because he educated me on lupus. He educated me to the point where I would never look back on what I came from to where I am today.
Thank you for sharing that. Once again, all of you, this is her book, Living Beyond Lupus. You can find that at pearlluxedigital.com. Katrina, thank you so much for your honesty and your wisdom and your courage today. You've reminded us that living beyond lupus or any hard thing, right? It's not about pretending that it doesn't hurt. It's about telling the truth, right?
Yes.
It's about honoring your body and still choosing to show up every day, still choosing, because it is a choice. Some of us can, not make that choice to get up and push through it and find help, seek help. You taught us about the importance of asking for help and seeking help, right? Because a lot
Yes.
of us, we are sometimes when we have to ask for help, there's a little bit of shame that comes behind
Yes.
it because we don't feel strong, we don't feel in control. And so, thank you for teaching us today. You've also shown us that strength can look like rest.
Yes.
Right? And we didn't get a chance to talk about your business of building streams of income, but certainly, you talked about, protecting your health, right? Taking care, not ignoring the signs, not ignoring the whispers in your body. And we're so grateful for that. Those of you who are watching, if this conversation spoke to you, if you are a lupus warrior, if you love someone with chronic illness, or if you're just tired from life, because some of us know how that feels too, I want to invite you to do two things. I want you to first check in on the lupus warrior in your life, right? And ask them what support really looks like for them. Ask them what support looks like for them this month. Second, take one step forward toward living beyond whatever has tried to name you, whether that's fear, burnout, grief, or diagnosis. Again, if you want to go deeper, please grab Katrina's book, Living Beyond Lupus. And it's an ebook, so you could buy it and read it right on your tablet or your laptop or your phone. Connect with her at pearlluxedigital.com. This Pearl Luxe, right? All one word. Lux with an E at the end, digital.com. Here in Inspire, we are committed to lifting up these kinds of stories every week. So if you haven't already, please follow the show. Please share this episode with someone who needs it, and meet us right back here next week, Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Once again, I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. This has been Inspire. And until next time, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated. But most of all, I want you to stay inspired. See you again next week. Thank you so much, Katrina.
Thank you very much for having me. And everyone,